Look, air pressure is high here in this region. Okay, air pressure is high here. Air pressure is low in this region. When there is more pressure, it will push the air to that direction or not. When you put pressure on something, it will force that object. Same way, when there is more pressure, it will push itself from high pressure to low pressure. If this region have more air pressure, if this region is having low air pressure, the wind will move from high pressure to low pressure. Are you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then now the question is how the pressure difference created in the nature. Is the difference in temperature involved? How this pressure difference is created in nature. The following activities will help you to understand this. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. Let's try to understand another activity. In this activity, take a boiling tube. A boiling tube. Stretch a balloon tightly over the neck of the tube. You can use a tape to make it tight. Pour some hot water in a beaker. Insert the boiling tube with the balloon. Observe for 2 to 3 minutes for any change in the shape of the balloon. Now take the tube out and put it into some ice water. Let it cool down to the room temperature. Do you understand the experiment? What is happening? First of all, take a boiling tube, stretch a balloon over the neck of the tube. Okay, pour some hot water in a beaker, insert the boiling tube with the balloon in the hot water and observe it. Then take the tube and put it into a cold water and then observe what will happen. First, what will happen? When the balloon is put in the hot water, it got inflated. When you put it into cold water, it will deflate. What makes the balloon inflate when the boiling tube is placed in hot water? Why is the same balloon deflated when the tube is kept in cold water? Can I say that air expands on heating? Tell me. Are you both not understanding the concept?
I got it.
You got it. Air expand on heating. That's why when we put balloon and tube in the hot water, it got inflated. And when we put it into cold water, it got deflated. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's move forward. Don't go with this experiment, you will get confused. So, there are several situations about which we had studied. Okay, let's conclude them. First is, what are the things we studied? Let's conclude them first. The first thing we study is that air exerts pressure, right? More the air speed, less the air pressure. Fine. More the speed, less the pressure. Then we study about air is that warm air expands. And air moves from high pressure to low pressure. I can conclude these three things for you. One is air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure. Second is air, if air speed is high, the pressure will be low. Third is if air is warm air expands. And fourth is air move from high pressure to low pressure. We have studied these four things in all those experiments. These experiments are just to understand these four things. You just have to remember these four things to understand how cyclone form, how these winds become so fast and destructive. Do you understand these four things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in nature, there are several situations. You have studied about convection, right? When warm air rises at a place, the air pressure at that place is lowered. The cold air from the surrounding area rushes in to fill its place. Right? You have studied about convection. When warm air rises up from this region, warm air rises up, the air pressure at this place decreases, due to which the cold air from the surrounding area rushes in to fill its place. This setup is known as convection. Convection also play an important role in different temperature and different weather conditions. Do you remember sea breeze and cold breeze? Had you revised your chapters? Tell me, Chitresh.
Huh?
Muzamil, do you remember cold breeze and sea breeze?
Yes, ma'am. It's
They are
land
also
breeze and sea breeze.
yeah, they're also land breeze and sea breeze. There also convection plays an important role.
Yes.
So in different weather conditions, convection also play different roles. Okay. Wind currents are generated due to uneven heating on the earth. Let's see how these conditions appear. How cyclone will form. Okay. First of all, uneven heating between the equators and the poles. Do you know what are poles and equators? What are poles and equators on Earth?
Equator is the centermost latitude, and the poles are the two geographic poles. Example, North Pole and South Pole.
Right. These are the poles. This is equator. Okay. Now, as you know, equator get maximum heat from the sun. It's true. Equator get maximum heat from the sun, due to which the air in this region gets warm. The warm air rises and the cooler air from the region of poles take its place. Right? In this way, wind circulation is set up from the poles to the warmer latitudes. Do you understand this concept? This is just same like the convection process occur in sea breeze and land breeze. I'm repeating. The air at the equator rises because equator get maximum heat from the sun and warm air can rise upward always. And the cooler air from the pole region take its place. Let me tell you. Look, this is equator. This line is equator. Okay. And my shoulder are poles. Poles. Okay. As you know, the maximum heat is at the equator. Maximum heat is at the equator, due to which the warm air rises. Warm air rises upwards. So this place is empty as the air rises up. The air from the poles, that is the colder air, rushes here because the pressure of air is low here due to the empty space. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Chitresh?
Yes, ma'am.
Or should I repeat again?
I got it.
Got it. Okay. Then